Interesting, we had Kenyon Martin, Gilbert Arenas, they were talking about the wealth conversation, especially between black and white people. So I want you guys to take a listen to what they said.
You get your first paycheck. The thing they always say, you should buy your mom a house or you should take care of your parents. What would be your advice for youngins when they first get that paycheck?
It depends on the background. Like, there's no need for KJ to buy me a house. But a lot of parents in a lot of situations, they live vicariously through their kids. So when they make it, it's we made it. It's the, well, you gonna take care of us. We need this. We need this house. It's that. So it's those pressures that some parents put on their kids, which is unfair.
When you ask white kids, what's the first thing you bought? They've never said anything about buying their parents anything.
Right.
They're taught to move the money forward, right? So whatever money they get, they're saving. So when they get kids, they can take care of their kids for their kids to take care of their kids.
Right.
We're taught when we make money, move back. So we got to take care of our parents. So by the time we all get kids, there's no money left. So the life we gave our parents, we can't give our kids. That's the problem we have. We can't use the generational wealth because we're moving it back.
Wow. I don't know if everyone's had this conversation, but I know as an athlete, every athlete has had this conversation. And this is why I love the locker room so much. This is why Never Shut Up is really in the locker. It's in the locker room. It's because I'm trying to bring that spirit back. We should talk like this. We should talk about this. And it'd be white people talking too. But in this one, it's just three brothers. Let's talk through this. Okay. Kenyon Martin started off talking about background because his son is a beast, a baller. And I just seen Kenyon not too long ago. Son's a baller, right? So a lot of people projecting him have that type of future his father had. And immediately he said, my son bought me a house. I don't need him to buy me a house. I already made it. I did my part. Now he's in a position where he could buy a house or for me or not. It's all dependent on your background. So that kind of sets the stage for what we're going to talk about because Gilbert went there. When he said white people move the money forward and black people move the money backwards. And I was like, yep, we talk about this. I had an epiphany from this same experience, same type of conversation, 1997. I'm gonna take you through it. So moving the money forward is basically you get the money and you're now thinking forwardly about your kids, your future, your family, your wife. Moving the money backwards is, oh, mommy and daddy didn't grow up with anything. Let me go save them. Let me go take care of them. Let me bump them up. Let me bring the village with me. And what makes most black people struggle financially is not these crazy, let me say it the right way. It's not the expenditures that you think are so crazy, like, oh my God, how many cars and the jury and stuff like that. I'm telling you, it's not that. What I see is too big a heart. Don't say no. So you bought mama a house, you bought daddy a house, you got mama a car, you got daddy a car, you got sister a car, you got sister an apartment, you got brother something, you got auntie, you got uncle, you got, and if you add all that up and you bought that other stuff, but just add that up. That is what gets us. That is what gets us. It's that too big a heart. It's the MC Hammer mentality, I used to say. Like, dog, how many people dancing with you? You know? How many people dance with you? So we know as a black athlete, as soon as you get it, I did the same thing. Mama, we got to move. How many people dancing with you? Daddy, okay, you want to move. Sister, okay, you going to move. I did the same thing, y'all. Can't lie. I ain't preaching. I'm just telling y'all. So why is it like that? There is a real conversation and a real spirit that because we struggled, and my mom had two kids at the age of 17 and 19. I'm born when she's 19 years old. Whole world told her life is over. She dedicated herself to us. She really was there all the time. My dad was there all the time as well. Attentive parents, nuclear family. But the world was telling my mom, whatever. You had two kids as a teenager, you're done. And it beat her up. That's why it felt so good. She was so proud when I finally made it. She was like, all of that sacrifice paid off materially for the world to see, right? She was proud of my sister as well, but she was like, you now have something that the whole world can see and all surround themselves with and say, wow, that's special. So that made her feel special. Okay, but there's also a guilt that comes with that from me, even more than the conversation we had. Because it doesn't feel good when you got $500,000 on one day, and that's more than your parents ever made in their entire life, and they work every single day. It doesn't feel good when you get millions and millions of dollars, and they're sitting there like, all I need is 20,000, and you're like, 20,000 to $1 million. I got it. But really, you don't have $1 million. You got 500,000, right? And in that 500,000, you haven't even taken care of yourself and yours. So it adds up. But you feel obligated. You feel inclined. You also feel indebted. Like, I want to do it. I'm going to take care of my family. And that's backwards, as was shown to me by my lawyer at the time and good friend still to this day, my agent, Brad Blank. So he was my agent. He went to Brown. First guy to reach out to me my senior year at Columbia. Connection of Ivy League connection, because he was a realist. He just kept it real. And I was like, whoa. And he was first. That mattered. And he was just like, the whole process, took care of me, you know, flew us out. We went to our combine camp, had a monster combine because of Mike Boyle in Boston. People who know athletics know Mike Boyle's like a godfather. Just went through the whole process, gave me an advance, gave me a little money. I think he gave me $10,000 the first time, take care of myself. Like, I'm walking around campus with $10K, bro. It felt good in 97, right? I was like, y'all want some pizza too? You know, already. Gator boots, I'm already in the zone, right? One conversation I will never forget. Him and Jerry Klingman, our financial advisor at the time, he was like, black players, my black players, all do this. They all buy their mama a house. And he said, white players, my white players, all do this. Put their money up with Jerry. And at first, it felt racial when he said it. But I told you he's a realist. Great guy. Had no animus in it. He was just like, he's like, don't be typical. Don't do it the way that we know doesn't work as well as the other. And it wasn't about racial lines. He was just like, I'm hearing you say it. And he was saying it to all his other black clients. He's like, put it up with Jerry. Now, we didn't feel the gravity of that until we heard this story. So there was a defensive end back in the days. I think he played for the Jets and certainly the Jaguars. Jeff Lageman. If you guys don't know who he is, beast. He balled. And the story goes, Jeff Lageman never made over, I think, $1.5 million when he played as a football player. Never made it that much. I don't think he was a Pro Bowler or anything like that. But he retired. Either it was with the most, more than guys who were making a ton of money, and he retired with $10 million, and he barely made $10 million. Something like that. That was a story. And then when we heard that story, and then I knew Jeff Lageman, I was like, oh, God. They were like, yo, he's set for life. He's rigged it. He did the right thing. Then buy mama a house, etc. And that story always kicks in with me, and especially when I heard Gilbert Arenas and those guys talking, I had to think the same. Yeah, I went through the ups and downs, guys, with my mom and my dad, with spending, allowances, oh, you buying this and that guilt when you say no to something you know you can do. And here's the worst guilt of them all, I'll tell you right now. You buy a woman that you're dating, you buy your fiance, you buy now my wife something. And wife is obviously the easiest to be like, I ain't feeling guilty. But all the way to this point, and then you're looking at your mom telling them no. Or your dad, you tell them no. You say, yeah, 1,000 times, mommy and daddy. But now, my financial advisor said, But then you, at the same time, you go to the club with your boys, y'all spending something. You go out and go on vacation, y'all spending something. You dating this girl you really like, or you getting engaged for the 4th time, y'all spending something. Then you tell somebody else that you love that was there wiping your butt when you were 4 years old. Did you wipe your butt at 4 years old? Yeah, I still wipe my daughter's butt. Nah. That was tough. I mean, there's trauma in here. If y'all don't hear me, I'll keep talking. I'll start crying up in here. It's some trauma, man. More money, more problems. I still don't agree with you, Puff. I will say more money, more to deal with. It ain't all problems either. Let's just keep that 1,000. So y'all tell me in the comments, what do you think about that along racial lines and in terms of just the effect on both communities? We know the wealth gap. White people have 6 times as much as black people in their households in terms of wealth. maybe this is contributing the most to that gap. The fact that black people feel guilty and then indebted to the point where they have to take care of those before them, where white people are looking at those coming behind them. Break it down in the comments what you guys think about all this and more. All right, y'all, coming up next on Never Shut Up. Woo, we had a racial conversation, didn't we? That was a good one. Let's talk about what's happening and funking up some comments. Talk about them Cowboys for 5 seconds. Good. Ooh, I would hate to be a Cowboy today. Wasn't that much better when I played, but this is bad. And let's hit you with a Wileyism. That's next. Never Shut Up. Brinks TV. Reach TV. Woo woo. Dang dang. Mm-hmm. Welcome back to Never Shut Up. It's your boy, Marcellus Wiley. Let's get into this, man. First, we got to thank Brinks and Brinks.TV. Oh, my God. We had us an amazing event this weekend. Check my socials. I'm going to keep updating you guys with the highlights, all the fun we had. All the staff was there in the building. Obviously, John Brinkins was there. We had my boy, former teammate Peerless Price was there. Sean Merriman, not my former teammate, even though we played for the same organizations. Chargers and Bills. He's just following in my footsteps, but doing it better. Tons of cats there, brand sponsors. It was an amazing event. Showed off our new frontier, new next level technology, green. I can't even say green screens, green rooms. We are going in over there at Brinks. So that was amazing. And one of our sponsors and supporters, Bet US. Make sure you go to WileyWins.com and support the cause. I get 125% sign-up bonus if you go there right now. And we'll get our divisional picks in this week on Wednesday. That's going to be fun. And make sure you guys also support the foundation, right? I saw this great documentary on charity. Actually, it was a TED Talk. Talking about the origins of charity and how backwards we have it in our mindset. Like, for-profits, let them take risk and do all kind of things and make money and do it and have huge impact on this world, GDP, et cetera. And then when it comes to charity, oh, you guys just make some sandwiches and make sure they have backpacks and don't make much money and help people. I was like, man, it was a dope one. Circulate that around. But if you leave a donation, recurring donation, I will send you this book right here, Never Shut Up. Just leave your email at projecttransition.org. Be a part of our donor wall and be a part of our global giving community. All right, it's time to focus some comments. Focus some comments, yeah. Saban's retirement. I don't get why people are shocked. A 72-year-old who just bought a $17 million home in Florida retired. Seriously. I didn't know you bought that house, but as soon as I read that, I was like, rap. He want to live, dog. All them wins, you can't enjoy your wins. It's time to go. Move on. Move on, Saban. Move on. Lived in Alabama for years, and the stigma isn't what people try to make it. Okay. Joe Diggy, I don't know your background. I don't know how real that is, but I'm not going to judge Alabama because I haven't been to Alabama. I just know what I have in perception of Alabama, and certainly that's a part of the perception. Transport portal will destroy college football. No, it's going to realign it. It's going to shift it. It ain't going to destroy it. First of all, we're going to see 12 teams in the playoffs, and let's just say, number one, you in trouble. Because at the end of the season, cats be looking way different. Green Bay and Dallas. Green Bay look way different at the end of this year than they did in the beginning of this year. Now, you don't want to see them boys. You don't want them problems in your life, right? That's going to be, the transfer portal is going to allow all of this reshuffling, free agency. That's why the NFL is beautiful. They preach parity, but they allow you through free agency to go out there and reshuffle the deck. Do what you want. Make a trade. That's the pro level. Why is it going to destroy the college level? Because college, in our mind, we still are wrapped in the old model of school spirit and loyalty because they sold y'all and sold us amateurism. They were, I don't want to say they're lying. They weren't being genuine. I don't want to say they're lying because there was a time they thought it was amateur because sports went like this. At first, it was like this. I mean, the Ivy League tapped out of sports in terms of big business. It was a smart play, too. Like, everybody always talk about how much money Alabama making and Kentucky and basketball. You know how much Harvard makes? Because when they started their school first, and then all that money that they made and those endowments, and then how they're able to continue to grow without tax repercussions. It's insane. They like, oh yeah, how much you make? 200 million? Oh, that's so cute. Oh, good football team. And then Harvard's football team makes 2 million, right? Whatever. Doesn't matter. School is way richer. All right, Christianity. Would you give an atheist credit for being openly atheist? Me? Actually, I would. I want to say his name. I know one, and I give him props because he told me. He ain't told the world, so I ain't going to say his name. It's weird that you think Stroud being openly Christian is a thing. Loads of NFL players are openly Christian. Yeah, but they all ain't starting superstar quarterbacks. Kirk Cousins is close. In fact, the only openly atheist NFL player I've ever known is, I forget his name, played running back for the Texans, Arian Foster. Quite a few years ago. Yep. Edit Arian Foster. Okay, good. You caught it. As a sports fan, I want hear about the effort the player put in, not the God deserves all the glory. The players, his parents, coaches, etc. They did the hard work, not God. Would I say who struggles with God? Literalist. I said, if you're real literal, but let me give you a God story. I'm at Columbia. I get picked to go to East-West Shrine All-Star game. I'm nervous. Not because I don't think I belong, not because I don't think I'm good enough, not because I don't think I'm better than some of those guys, a lot of them. It's just because the perception of you going to Florida State and getting 10 sacks and me at Columbia getting only 6 sacks it might be a different level when I get to this damn All-Star game. And I remember I put my hand in the dirt, had to go against this tight end from Notre Dame. Remember I looked up, saw them gold flakes in his helmet, and now immediately I thought about my whole upbringing, and I said, this is my moment of truth. It's time to get real. All that pain, all that struggle, this sucker about to feel it. And coach said, bah! I lit that. All of my life issues had to come out in that moment. It did. But let me tell you what got me there. Philippians 4:13. I could do anything through him who strengthens me. Had it on my wrist, had it in my heart, memorized it 1,000 times over, kept reading it because it was discouraging at times. It was scary at times. It was a rocky road, right? I'm at Columbia, nobody noticing me. I'm a senior and nobody noticing me. Then all of a sudden, phew, point being, I could do anything. God, you saying God didn't do it, I did it. I'm just trying to tell you, I had help. Okay? That's just one story. And I give you a lighter one because I don't want to go heavy on you, big dog. Mystical. Yeah, the rapper. Boom, boom, boom. Master P. Boom, boom, boom. That's why Ben Horowitz, the famous VC, him and his wife Felicia, have a foundation called Paid in Full where they give rappers pensions. Rakim and Scarface got the first 2 pensions, $500,000 this year. I didn't do it alone. I borrowed from them. That's why I contributed to the foundation and to their pension. Because I was like, these suckers inspired me. Now, to a whole nother magnitude is talking about God. But the point is, please, I hope you don't believe. For whatever reason, whatever level, even if you're atheist, I respect you, brother. Go ahead. You're doing it by yourself. That's all I got to say about that. Okay. So same thing with God. Stop playing. So I like C.J. Stroud before. Now I'm rooting for him even more, I assume. It takes a man to say what he truly believes in, what it is not popular. Yeah, that's real. That's how the game is going right now. I mean, on the NFL fan, rich mindset, poor mindset thing, I think people just don't want to feel taken advantage of or taken for granted. If everyone thought with the rich mindset, brain over emotion, sports leagues, luxury brands, etc., will make way less than they make now. Yeah, playing the emotions. Look, so much is pulling emotional strings. You can pull those emotional strings, you got something, right? Because then they're not blind, but they're controlled by something that is greater than them in terms of energy. Like when you get in an emotional rage or full of joy, whatever it may be. You'll give away your house. Like, you ever been in such a good mood? You're like, oh yeah, drinks on me. That's not logic. That is emotion. Feels good, right? You walk in, everybody, we've all been there, right? And that's the beauty of it. So these sports leagues, the reason I majored in sociology is not just because it was an easy major. Y'all stupid. I majored in sociology because they hooked me when they told me about it studies the patterns of life. And I was like, that's interesting. And then they took me through the store experience, going to a literal store, Target. And when you walk in, that every item is strategically placed where it is to trigger not only your consumption, but to try and spark your emotion, right? You ever go in the store and be like, oh, I want that. Oh, that's too far. I come next time. They say they don't put a lot of men products in the back. We ain't going back there, dog. Like, right here. And then they put all the simple little lazy things, gum, candy, right there when you're like, oh yeah, let me get a Snickers. You know what I mean? So when I learned that's not just a store, that's life. They have constructed life in the best way to trigger you. Just like when you get on social media. You ever get on social media and the first post you see is 3 minutes ago? Literally, when you think about it, it should always be the last post by people I follow. Is it that way? Hell nah. Get on sometimes and say 4 days ago. You don't even notice it until you already clicking it, engaging. You're, oh, 4 days ago. They know what you want, and they know what you don't want either. And that's going to get you engaged, all emotional pulls. So that's how the game goes, man. We all getting rigged. Just know that you're doing the rigging. You are doing it as well. All right, y'all know how we finish every show. We finish it with a why. E-ism. Yeah. Oh, this is a good one. Truth is rain. Doesn't care who it falls on. Hello. Amen. I let her rain and get it out. Truth is rain. Yeah. It is a lonely road when you try to live fully by the truth. Look, I know I've lied. I don't know about y'all. So I know every time I lie, part of it is always to fit in. Part of it is always to go and be around the group, the populace, so that people don't notice me. But when you tell the truth, it becomes at times isolating. It all of a sudden comes to you to the point where it's like, you may be on an island. But one thing about the truth, you're not on an island. Because the truth, it is truly rain. It doesn't care about you like that. It doesn't care where it goes. It just cares that it's shown. It just cares that it is believed. Truth goes. And we try to run from the truth. You ever try to run when it's raining? You're just getting wet somewhere else. You know what I mean? Oh, it's raining here. We're going to outrun a rain cloud? Like, for real. Like, we try to do that. Realizing, like, the truth, he got you. Truth got you. All you got to do is allow it to get you. And once you do that, it is more liberating, more freedom, more strength, everything better if you just live in the truth. Problem is, like everybody, we're human, one. And two, there are times where you do not feel like rowing that boat by yourself because it could get lonely. It could get heavy. It could get isolated. How many times you guys been at work and the conversation's happening and you disagree? But just to keep the flow going, just to keep your boss who's right there listening too, like keep him on your side, you just let that flow. I ain't say a word, because there's been times I've been like, but boy, if me and my boss have drinks, he gonna hear something different. Here's the craziest thing. I know a lot of people that in their private world are completely different than their public persona. Don't you hate that? I hate it too, and I always tell them, I'm like, dog, I ain't gonna never out you, but dog, you're a fraud. You're a fraud. That's why I think Illuminati, Cat Williams is all talking about. He's like, dog, why you act like this here and this there? And then they always say stuff like, don't let your left hand know what your right hand is doing. My grandma taught me that. That's an old Wileyism. So I get it, but the 99% of the times in my life that I have told the truth, because there's been 1 or 2% I've been lying. You know what I'm saying? Oh, man, I remember my girlfriend. Let me stop. So those times, truth is rain. It doesn't care who it falls on. And you know what that rain does? It makes everything grow. I love you guys. All right, that'll do it for today's episode of Never Shut Up. Happy birthday, Martin Luther King Jr. I am not singing happy birthday to the black version or Stevie Wonder version. Every time you go somewhere, you're like, oh. And now the kids got another one, cha-cha-cha. I'm like, oh. I don't know what else. I need to go hang around some other cultures and stuff. How many versions of birthday? Oh, John Brinks did one this weekend for his mom. I was like, what is he singing? It was some movie. That's how the game goes, y'all. Have a blessed day. Have an amazing day. Happy holiday. Get out of here, Wiley.
Days a lot faster. Oh, I'm so honored. I'm so inspired to be here, and thanks Shine Global for this award, to be recognized for doing the right thing, to be recognized for doing good things, and trying to inspire others for their own greatness. I'm just a kid from Compton who, at an early age, had to look inside to find my opportunities, because on the outside, there were so many whispers and sometimes yells of, I couldn't make my dreams a reality. And thought that was very unfortunate, but I was thankful that I never internalized that chorus that was around me. I was a kid that understood that you had to be greater than your greatest excuse. And I had a lot of excuses. I had a lot of reasons to have self-doubt. But I was able to develop my inner power, discover that inner power, and make sure that I showed the world exactly who I wanted to be. And it was really simple for me. It was to make my dreams a reality. There was nothing more to it. And as I now stand here, just a few miles from where I grew up, where that adversity still is strong, and as we see through these movies, that it's worldwide, not just in our locale. You see the suffering, you see the gangs, you see the drugs, you see the poverty. And there's always one common escape. It's that inner power, it's that ambition. It's having a voice that's louder than those surrounding voices. And I'm on a mission, a global mission, to make sure that that inner power inspires all to not only give, but to receive the blessings that come from giving. And I'm up here right now as a guy who's challenging everyone to give their 3 T's. That's time, that's talent, and that's treasure. Human capital, financial, whatever it may be. Let's invest in each other, because we all have to coexist here together. And as I look around and I have a foundation that really inspires these kids to become their greatest version of themselves, and to look in the mirror to make sure that they're greater than their greatest excuse. It gives me my greatest passion. I was a kid who wanted to be a school teacher, but because of my height, weight, and speed, I became a football player. So I took that helicopter ride up as high as I could, but as I was ascending, I never forgot that I was once one of those fork-in-the-road kids who was shot at many times, who had to navigate around adversity every single day, who had to waste so much of his brain power just trying to get home every day. And so many experiences that sometimes you become desensitized to. But in reality, that is someone else's reality. So I'm so thankful to stand in front of all of you guys as an example of the kids that we're trying to affect, the underserved, the underprivileged, those who are told that their hardships are greater than who they are. But hopefully we can inspire them all to look inward, because everything they want out there is already in here. Appreciate you guys.
BetUS, America's favorite sportsbook, where you can bet on everything, anytime. Sportsbook, casino, horse racing, live betting, and more. We have the best bonuses in the industry. That's right. Get a 125% sign-up bonus, and to celebrate our 30-year anniversary, we're giving up to 30 risk-free bets, a truck, Super Bowl tickets, and more. Don't miss out. Play smart. Join now. BetUS, where the game begins.